Hello, hello, my sweet friends. This is Carrie Konyha welcoming you back to my channel. It is time once again for another episode of Collective Awakening Weekly. This is a weekly energy update that takes a look at the cosmic energies that are shining in each week, in addition to how we can harness the power of the energies that are showing up to support our journeys in spiritual awakening, healing, and empowerment. I'm going to start by talking about the larger energetic themes that are showing up, and then we'll spiral into specifics. But before I do that, I want to give a big shout out to everybody who showed up at my Empowering Intuition workshop this past weekend at the Sedona Yoga Festival. I was so pleased to see such an amazing turnout, and many of you asked about taking my more extensive intuitive development courses. I'm in the midst right now of putting all of my courses on a new online platform, and those courses are going to be available this fall. So if you feel like you might be interested in taking my intuitive development courses or any of my other healing arts practitioner courses, I recommend taking a moment just to stop by my website, sign up for my email newsletter so that you can get notified right away as courses are available for registration. Having said that, let's get started. First, hooray, hooray, Mercury is now direct once again. It went direct on June 3rd in the sign of Taurus. So we're still in that shadow period of the direct motion, but we will be fully in the clear of the shadow period on the 13th when Mercury moves into the sign of Gemini, which it feels very at home in. So as we're coming into the next few weeks, we're all going to be inwardly feeling the stirrings of a return to enthusiasm. We're all going to be feeling inspired to get out and about, socialize, interact, have fun summer experiences. So it feels like this energy is giving us a little bit of an early kickstart into summer, which feels really energetic and delightful. But let's reel it back into what's going on in the here and now. Saturn just went retrograde in the sign of Aquarius on the 4th. And this energy really inspires us all to review, reevaluate, dial in, and optimize our social spheres so that we can feel like we're living more in alignment with our true soul essence, our true soul nature, and all things connected to the sense of positive, supportive community that we want to cultivate and empower in our lives. So that exuberant energy that we're bringing to our life that's inspired by Mercury moving into the sign of Gemini is actually also going to be really helpful in the realm of us utilizing our sense of discernment regarding our social circles. So as we're out and about and having those fun summer experiences, notice how you feel guided. Notice where in your life you feel guided perhaps to explore new activities, things that are different than you've done before. And perhaps there's aspects of your sense of community connections that maybe feel that they've played their course. And that's all a natural part of evolution, right? But we really want to just be aware of that and really fully allow ourselves to embrace whatever we feel guided towards. We really are in a strong time of evolutionary processes now. And so a lot of these little teeny tweaks that we are feeling guided to do is ultimately a part of our bigger expansion cycles that are playing out right now. So on June 7th, we have the first quarter moon happening in the sign of Virgo, which is an earth sign. This reminds me, one of the larger cycles that I wanted to talk about that's happening this week is that we do have a strong earth energy signature connected to this first quarter moon astrology chart in the way that we have, let's see, we've got Mercury, Venus, Uranus, and the North Node in Taurus. And then we also have the moon in Virgo, and we have Pluto in Capricorn. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 celestial bodies in earth signs. The other thing that I want to talk about with this first quarter moon phase is that it's bringing us into a strong sort of checkpoint. The first quarter moon of each lunar cycle is a little bit like a checkpoint. It's where we get an opportunity to revisit whatever intentions that we set for ourselves on the new moon and sort of just assess, like, okay, where are we at with those intentions? Am I feeding the energy of those intentions with strength and perseverance and consistency? Or have I wavered a bit? Does there need to be a little bit of an adjustment? And so this is a great week to really consciously allow yourself to delve into that, especially because, as I said last week, this lunation that we're in right now is the last lunation of spring. Now, when we talk about shamanic cycles of power, spring is the time of year that we set our intentions, and those intentions take root, bloom, blossom, grow throughout the summer, and then yield results as we're coming into fall. So we all have access and the ability to harness the power of this last lunation of spring to really sort of revisit, revitalize the strength behind whatever our overarching intentions are this year. This could be intentions around our personal growth processes. It can be things that we're wanting to manifest in any capacity of our life. But specifically, the energy around the June lunation is all about cultivating feminine empowerment. It's about cleansing, purification, and protection. So any intention that we might have that are around those themes are going to be sort of like super powered this month. So another thing that I'd like to say about the energy around this first quarter moon that's happening on June 7th is that it could leave us feeling pulled in opposite directions. This is because we have the sun squaring the moon, which happens every first quarter moon phase. So when the sun squares the moon, our sense of identity and self-expression has a little bit of a check-in point with our emotions and our feelings. Now, with the sun in Gemini, that typically inspires, again, exuberant energy. We want to be out and about, engaging with people and being social. While the moon happening in the sign of Virgo this month wants us to really just kind of button up, organize, get clear, and stay grounded. So there's one way that we might feel a little bit pulled in opposite directions. Now, at the same time, we have the moon in Virgo opposing Neptune in Pisces. The moon represents our inner sensing feeling body, our emotional nature. Neptune represents things having to do with cosmic awareness, our dream time, the unseen, mystical, spiritual dimensions of life. So we may also feel guided to really sort of tend to our self-nurturing and our spiritual self-care over the next few days as well. Ultimately, balance is the key. Finding a way to fulfill however it is that you feel guided to enjoy your social circles, tending to whatever your sense of responsibilities are to yourself with that Virgo moon happening. Also paying attention to where you might feel the need to be a little bit fortified, spiritually speaking. We've had a lot of intense energies going on, bombarding us for a few years now. It seems like it's like one thing after another, after another, after another. And we're all feeling a little bit weary around the edges, so to speak, right? And so it is important to take time to fortify yourself, to tend to your self-nurturing, your self-care, so that we can remain in harmony as much as possible. We don't want to fry out, frazzle out, burn out, because honestly, guys, I know that a lot of you who watch these videos and are connected with me on this channel are people that I refer to as evolutionary souls. We are here to be beacons of light during this grand time of awakening. And the world really needs us now. And so it's really important for all of us to pay attention to where we feel a little bit burdened, a little bit weighed down, a little bit heavy, a little bit weary, exhausted, tired, and do what we can do to remain in balance, to stay not only centered, but elevated in our awareness, which basically means not taking too much on and not spreading ourselves too thin. Honoring our boundaries basically is what it comes down to, and doing our best to choose wisely in ways that bring a balanced lifestyle. So speaking of intentions, I also want to mention that on June 10th, we have Mercury in the sign of Taurus trining Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto is a planet of transformation. Capricorn is all about responsibilities, our sense of duty and purpose in the world. Mercury in Taurus wants us to think about and implement practical actions in alignment with what our deeper values are. And so overall, this positive aspect that's going on inspires decision making connected with life path growth. On June 11th, we have Venus conjunct Uranus in Taurus. And Uranus typically brings unexpected opportunities, circumstances, events. And Venus is the planet of harmony, beauty, love. So be open to noticing where there's little shifts of energies that bring in unexpected opportunity to experience and share love, beauty, harmony in your life this week. Now on June 14th, we have the full moon in Sagittarius. Of course, we're going to talk a lot more about that in next week's episode. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here. But overall, this week, we might feel pulled in opposite directions because of that T-square energy that's happening around this first quarter moon. But we're also moving into lighter, more playful times around the corner. With that, let's take a look at whatever additional insights and sacred wisdom teachings you want to channel through the cards today. Today, I'm working with my deck that's called the Energy Oracle Cards by Sandra and Taylor. This is what the box of this deck looks like, and then this is the little booklet that comes with it. I'm going to start by pulling 3 cards, and we'll see what comes up. And I'm just going to pull 3 cards for an overall message about what's, a perspective on the energy that's showing up this week, how we can harness the power of the energy, and then what the result can be from that. So let's just start with that here. Okay, here we go. Here's 1. Oops, 2. Fell down. And 3. Here we go. Okay, we have a card called Magician and the Mirror, and this was reversed, so I'm going to talk about that. We have a woman holding a coin and adjacent possibilities. Okay, so this is what it feels like. I feel like the card that's called Adjacent Possibilities is a representation of the energy that's happening this week, which I'll talk more about in a moment. The Magician and the Mirror, I feel, is talking about how we can harness the energy. And the woman holding a coin is representing what the result will be. So adjacent possibilities is assigned to the number 24, which is a 6, which represents love, balance, harmony. Well, now when you look close at the card, you can see there's like a perspective shift. We can look this way and see where there's like a hallway and doors and windows open, but we can completely shift our focus and there's like a whole other reality showing up here, right? So it's a lot about seeing things from different perspectives. Now, oftentimes, allowing yourself to see things from a different point of view does bring in new possibilities. And I feel like that is the main message of this card that wants to come up today. But let me go ahead and find this in the book and just read a little bit of a blurb here about it. Hold on one second. Here we go. Okay, let me see if I can read this here. I should have glasses, but I don't. So let's see. Sometimes the force of habit keeps you stuck and unaware of potentially healthier and happier choices at hand, just like I said. Yet every moment gives you the option to open to a different door and take a different course, whether it's in your thoughts, behaviors, or major life decisions. And then it goes on and on with some details, but I'm not going to read all of it. So yeah, it's like looking for changing things up, trying something new and different. That Gemini energy that we're coming into, as Mercury is coming into Gemini in the 13th, the sun is still in Gemini right now. That's really going to help us and support us in having our awareness set on where we might be ingrained in patterns that maybe aren't serving us anymore and how we can choose differently. Now, when I look at the Magician in the mirror, this totally reminds me of the Magician card in the tarot. Now you can see that his hands are illuminated. He's got what looks to be like orange light in his left hand, blue, white light in his right hand. This represents creative forces. We can see its processes of channeling energy. We can even think in terms of spiritual alchemy, transmutation. Now, when this card comes up in a right side up position, if I'm looking at it through the lens of the traditional Magician tarot card, it represents the very beginning phase of creation, which is transmissions of higher guidance or inspiration that illuminate us and inspire us to create. And so this came up in the reverse position. And I really feel like, on one, it's a reminder that we're not in this alone. We have access to higher guidance, right? This is something that I've been experiencing with clients over the past few weeks, is like people are stressed out, riddled with anxiety and depression. And a lot of it is because they're forgetting that we are co-creators with spirit. We have the ability to access higher guidance. And when we ask for higher guidance from your higher self, spirit guides, God, spirit, universe, cosmic consciousness, whatever you call it, when we ask for that guidance shows up. So I really feel that this is a reminder for us all to ask for guidance. So this is the action we can take. We have to remember to ask for higher guidance, ask for divine inspiration. And then the other part of the reversal is to be willing to take action based on the inspiration that comes in. So this is assigned to a 53, which is an 8 in numerology. 8 is the number of success, personal sense of fulfillment, reward, accomplishment, achievement that specifically comes through living in alignment with your soul truth. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just see what it says in the little book about this. Let me find it here. 53. Okay, and I'm going to read the description for the reversal because that's what came up. The Magician in the Mirror reversed is warning you that you may be missing a great opportunity. The time is right, but you're not taking advantage of the creative energy of this cycle. You do have the power to transform things for yourself, to create something new, whether a home, business, family, or life decision. All we have to do is tune into divine guidance. You may be resistant to the unlimited power you possess, but it's time to wake up. The misinformation and perceived limitations that linger from the past can no longer sustain you. Your life is the mirror that reflects your inner energy. Yet you have the ability to change what you see. You must fully open to the complete truth of your eternal wisdom, talents, and abilities, and take the risk in believing in yourself. So there's some additional little guidance connected to what I already shared. And then the last card we're going to take a look at, which feels to be like the result energy, is the woman holding a coin. So to me, this is like the Queen of Pentacles in a traditional tarot deck. It's rich, it's vibrant. You can see there's a lot of reds in the car and blacks, which are both colors that are connected to root chakra. So this is grounding, stability, structure, security energy. Obviously, she's like very lavish, lush energy. So it's a lot about abundance, affluence, prosperity. So we have the ability to activate that energy within us all through connecting with higher guidance and being willing to see things from new perspectives, choose differently in ways that change things up and bring us into new possibilities and potentials. Let me go ahead and just read the little blurb that is connected to the woman holding a coin. But first, I want to mention here that I'm seeing that the adjacent possibilities is assigned to a 24, which is a 6. The woman holding a coin is a 42, which is also a 6. And then the 53 is an 8. So we have 2 6s and an 8. 6, again, love, balance, harmony. 8 is the number of abundance and success. Also, when 8s come up, complete reversals can be possible. Where there's been difficulty and struggle, now there can be ease and grace as an example. So let me just share with you whatever else wants to come up about this woman with the coin energy here. And she did show up right side up. So here we go. This elegantly dressed woman on the card sits on a beautiful chair holding a bright gold coin. When this card comes up, it refers to successful endeavors regarding your finances and or health. This card can also signify a woman of support or assistance regarding these issues. Awesome. Okay, guys. I'm going to wrap it up there for today. All my love, blessings, namaste. I'm going to see you right around the corner in the next video. So if you haven't done so yet, I invite you to take a moment to subscribe to my channel so that you receive notifications as to my latest uploads. I really appreciate you sharing this video with your friends. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.